Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cha Cha Mystique, and you now tuned into Live at Radio. Today we have a special guest, definitely in the building, Hakim Green. Yes, legendary channel live, and we got so much to talk about. I love that he came back to the platform, but this time we're going to talk about current events, politics, and so much more. So go get your snacks, go get your drinks, and we be right back with it though. And I hear them say, and I hear them say, and I hear them say, I hear them say, and I hear them say. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So strike us, no strike me. Yes, strikers don't strike me with your hating asses. But without any further ado, Hakim Green definitely in the building.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yes, good. What's up? I'm so happy you back.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back.
Yes,
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, I think this was very important because, I do see a lot of your stance and analysis of what's happening in the world. You are not too shy about sharing that type of content on your social media, which is brave, especially influencers just such as yourself. A lot of people usually stay quiet about certain things and things like that. So I'm just sending kudos to you. Initially when we first did the interview, it was more about your iconic career, things that you experience in the business and stuff like that. But now I love the fact that you came back, because we get to get to know you personally just a little bit deeper. So yeah, so are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, so I want to start off because we just saw each other again at the Buds and Bars event. Shout out to Tyreek Buds and the whole Peacemaker family, the whole Buds and Bars family. It's such a dope event. Please follow them. Yeah, so that's where we first met each other, and we reunited again. And this year hip hop is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Yes. So can you tell us your experience and what you learned looking back at what hip hop has accomplished throughout these 50 years?
Wow, man, it's really, I think hip hop is a prime example of the spirit of our people. You know what I'm saying? I say our people, I'm going to say black and brown people, but we know there are other folks who've contributed and added on to the cipher of hip hop. But when it comes to, black and brown people and our impact on the world, when we think of coming up in the 70s and the 80s and not being able to see yourself on TV, not be able to see yourself in the movies. You had to really, search in order to see positive reflections of black and brown people, and hip hop kind of kicked the door in a lot of ways and, gave our people a platform to shine and be their best self, and, unfortunately, we're not always our best self. But I think the most important thing is that we have, we've created a lane for ourselves. We just got to work on controlling the lane and controlling the platforms and, having ownership in that sense. But just the impact of our spirit, our cultural influence, the music, the arts, the dance, the fashion, the whole 9 yards. You look worldwide, people, checking for what we doing. You know what I mean? That's hip hop. That's the beauty of hip hop culture.
Yes. So, even with the the main elements of hip hop, it also extended itself. Grandmaster Cass was speaking to that. Podcasters these days are surrounding their content around hip hop, and
Yeah.
through hip hop, it created an avenue for those who had other talents outside of the music and different things like that.
Yep.
This is a culture that is heavily documented and commented by a lot of people. It's almost like a sport. Now, we talking about politics and current events. Math Hoffa and China Mac recently got into like a debacle, but one of the main things that I've noticed that was ringing in that conversation was, should other people have input on what goes on, not only in street culture, black street culture, but as well as hip hop, even though they may have had a song or two or whatever, but do they have the right to dictate or give strong insight or input into the culture? What do you feel about that?
I think that what happens is we conflate different subjects. So a lot of times we say hip hop culture, we really mean rap music, or if we say hip hop culture, we really mean the music industry or the entertainment industry. When we say street culture, street culture is street culture. Street culture is streets don't love nobody. Streets don't owe nobody nothing, right? So when we talk about street culture, right off rip, you know that anybody can come in and exploit street culture. That's what it's there for. It's to be exploited, or you're the exploiter or the exploited when you talk about street culture, right? When you talk about hip hop culture, you're talking about us building around culture in ways where we didn't have to rely on street culture. We could use the arts, we could use our talents, we could use our skills to create avenues outside of the exploitation of street culture, right? Now, anybody that wants to participate in the wholeness of the culture is always welcome. I don't think color, should dictate people's participation in the culture. Respect is what should dictate your participation in the culture, and that respect has to be born of, a certain, like, coming up in the 70s and 80s, we had this term called down by law, where just not anybody could get on, not anybody could just pick up the mic, not anybody could get in the cipher. You had to kind of be, you had to get the respect of the people that came before you. And we got to return to that. So, we talk about Grandmaster Caz and Kool Herc. You talk about, Zulu Nation. We talk about Crazy Legs and Rocksteady and New York Breakers. And you talk about all these individuals. A lot of these people are still here with us. When they know who you are and they say this is dope, then it's dope. When you got somebody coming from a corporate building just because they put a whole bunch of money behind something, don't necessarily make it hip hop. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if that answers your question, but that's kind of why I stand with it.
No, that you answered it perfectly. But I kind of want to stick to that a little bit because a lot of people with the question that I just asked you, do you feel like hip hop is black culture or it's at a point where it transcended that?
I mean, hip hop is born from the experience of black and brown people. Like it's born from that experience. The authenticity of hip hop is closely rooted in black and brown culture, pain, struggle, strife, celebration. You know, though there were white folks, Asian folks, other people involved in the early hip hop, it was their association with black and brown people. It was their acceptance in black and brown circles. It was these folks being able to accept leadership in that sense from black and brown people. So, hip hop is born from the black and brown experience, though anybody who comes with respect and love should be able to participate in the culture. It shouldn't be predicated on skin color. It should be predicated on respect and love. And if you don't, if you don't, you don't. That's the thing. If you spit them bars, you get on the mic, you get in the cipher, you bust the moves, you on the tables, and you do what you do. That's the respect. That's the love. That's where it is. It shouldn't be because you got financial backing behind you. You know what I mean? So, and the people closest to the culture are the ones who can best identify, the best representations of the culture. And we got to get back to that, where we get the people who are closest to the seed dictate what the fruit's supposed to taste like.
Yes. So, and I totally agree. People who are closest to its origin, people who pioneer. Now, Saturday at the event, Grandmaster Cass said something amazing. He was like, the 50th anniversary should be ours. Like, granted, people did put their input on it. People did participate to the point where it evolved, and you have the culture what it is today, and that's through everybody's participation that was really respectful with the culture. But how do you feel about other people feeling like they could join in on that conversation, as far as the pioneers being able to truly enjoy this and embask in this
Yeah.
celebration because it's truly theirs?
Well, I mean, with anything, there's levels to it. You know what I mean? There's levels to this shit. You know, and when you was there from day one, when you was there from day zero, and you get to see, the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your sacrifice, the fruits of your dedication, being taken advantage of by folks that wasn't there when nobody was trying to hear what you had to say. People don't really understand this whole phenomenon we call hip hop culture, and it existing in these corporate buildings. Doors had to be kicked down. Like sacrifices somebody had to take the lumps in order for other folks to ride the wave. Somebody had to crash, somebody had to burn, and those folks who crashed and burned and caught the lumps and had to take the sacrifices, they should be able to share in the glory of what's become hip hop culture. We should see to it that somehow, some way. That's why that Grammy celebration was really dope, and applaud LL Cool J for being, an icon, a pioneer, so many, so many ways. Creating Rock the Bells Radio, creating the Rock the Bells now show. He does the show in Queens now. They're doing the cruise, and he's bringing back all the foundational hip hop artists to participate. And he's giving jokers jobs and places on the radio that they wouldn't have if it wasn't for this platform. Big shout out to LL Cool J. That Grammys performance. Over 50 years, you get artists dating back from the 70s all the way up to 2023. I mean, everybody wasn't there. Everybody can't go, y'all. Everybody can't go. But to consider what they did do by pulling all those persons, man, they did a tremendous job. It was dope. I was dope to see. Loved it.
Yes, I loved it too, and it's so good to see the pioneers really, because one thing Grandmaster Cass said was like, when they was kicking in those doors, people was making fun of them. I'm pretty sure that was a traumatic experience, especially when you're not used to getting ranked on. But then again, we're New Yorkers, so we got the illest comeback on anything. We got the illest snapbacks.
Got them
But
jokes. Got them
even
jokes.
yeah, even with that, it's hard to break down those doors when nobody believes in you. When people feel like they can't exploit the situation, so you feel like, you know, um, you feel like you can't make it and stuff like that. But there was something that kept them pushing. What do you feel that was that kept them pushing the culture forward, even with a million no's and rejections?
uh Going back to the block and doing shows and people being excited to hear your rhymes and see what you do, and going back to home, going back to the roots, going back home, going back to them ciphers, going back to them clubs, going back to them parties, where the people who know what the culture's about, know what the realness is about, showing appreciation for your talents. Like, it's like, what hip hop really is. When you get appreciated by Grandmaster Caz, when you get appreciated by, you know, Busy B, when you get appreciated by KRS-One, when you get appreciated by Naughty by Nature, when you have these folks listen to your music and saying, yo, keep doing what you're doing. I'm telling you, keep doing I know people ain't checking for you right now, but keep doing what you're doing. And that's the same for everybody in the culture. It's when you go back to the people who really count, and it's not about money, but it's about love of the art form, love of the culture, and they show you appreciation, that's what keeps the battery in your back. Keep it going.
Yes. Now, before we move on, I kind of want to touch on the Grammys a little bit more because,
Mhm.
like I said, we doing current affairs as well.
Yep.
So, one of the main things that I noticed on social media was, you know, people not only paid attention to the legends, but they also paid attention to a lot of the signature, the signs, things that may seem demonic and stuff like that. Do you feel like that kind of energy infiltrated hip hop at some point, and when?
So again, I'm gonna separate hip hop and entertainment industry, right? Because again, when people say hip hop, they really mean the entertainment industry. They don't really mean hip hop, right? So,
Yeah, it took it
it,
over so much. You might as well call it. It is it's the.
well, right. Well, see, the thing is, hip hop is, knowledge, MCing, breakdancing, DJing, graffiti arts or aerosol arts, street entrepreneurship, street, fashion and design, right? That's hip hop. Grammys is not hip hop. There were hip hop artists on the Grammy stage, but the Grammys themselves isn't hip hop. The Grammys is just the Grammys. And when you look at the history of the Grammys, they've always infused elements of Satanism and the different symbols and icons and imagery the Gothic, the sacrilegious themes and the like Sam Smith ain't hip hop, but he came out looking crazy. Now, I don't want to put that on hip hop just because the Grammys has a continual. I don't want to put that on hip hop because the Oscars does XYZ. I don't want hip hop shouldn't have to bear. We're just artists at this point. We're artists and entertainers who are part of a performance. I'm not gonna put that on hip hop because I didn't see no breakdancing. I ain't see no graffiti art. I ain't see nobody up other than MCs and rappers. When people say hip hop, they mainly mean rap. They don't mean hip hop. They mean rappers. But the rappers are representing the music industry, and I get it. It's the Grammys, so that's what that's about. So I'm gonna put it all in context. Like when people throw it on hip hop, don't do that to hip hop. Don't do that to hip hop. Hip hop ain't had nothing to do with that.
Yes, and I really appreciate that you breaking it down like that, you know what I'm saying? Because everything does get conflated with hip hop, I even notice that they conflate the culture. I mean, I don't mind it too much because we are the culture. Like everything does come for us. Like, we inspire the world, even before it even had the name of hip hop. So I could respect them, but it seems like they tried to add in all those other things that is not of the culture in it and make it all boil into one and stuff like that. What do you think would take for them to actually separate it on those grand stages?
They're not going to. Like they're not going to, then that's not their responsibility to do that. That's our responsibility. That's our responsibility to draw the line. It's our responsibility to dictate the narrative and how we're supposed to be presented. It's like we always looking for people outside of us to represent us the way we want to be represented. That's not gonna happen. They're gonna exploit you. They're gonna put you on a block and make $1 off you. That's what they're gonna do. So in knowing that, we have to be intentional on how we present the culture, present our art form and our lifestyle, our way of living. You know what I mean? We have to be very intentional about it and overly protective, like other cultures are overly protective of their culture. You just can't say any old thing about everybody. You just can't put up any old thing about it. But there's always going to be somebody that's willing to take $1. It's always somebody that's willing to sell their ass for $1. And when people go, what we gonna do? We all right, when we say we, who you talking about? We say we. Because everybody can't
Because
come.
we is French. I don't, and I barely
Everybody
speak Ebonics.
eh,
So what do you mean?
you know how when Noah was building Noah's Ark, right? He's building Noah's Ark, and Noah's trying to convince these jokers, yo, I'm telling you, it's a flood coming. We gotta work, we gotta be diligent, we gotta do it. They laughing at Noah, yo, you crazy, you stupid, you wild. Look at these little building destruction, there's no water coming. You're a fool, you're a fool, you're a fool. And then God said, listen, bro, just do what I tell you to do. Build the ark. He built the ark. Flood started to come. And whoever had a hammer had a place on the ark. Now, breakdancing is going to be in the Olympics next year. How many of us
For
going to be
real? I
there?
didn't even know that.
Breakdancing is an official Olympic event. How many us are going to be represented? Know why? Because we stopped doing breakdancing because it didn't make no money. We didn't pick up a hammer.
Yeah, and I see that too, because like when you on social media, especially like on Instagram, and you click on the hashtag breakdancing or even hip hop, and you know how it gives you the page and you see different videos from wherever, you barely see people that look like us.
Yeah, because we want to do trap.
Breakdancing.
We want to do strip club culture. We want to do trap. We get money. That's what we about. Well, okay, there you go. You got it. These Asians, they want the culture. They break dancing, graffiti art. They got these big competitions all over the world with thousands of people
Yeah.
participating. Latin America, Africa. Well, maybe not Africa. They do other things, which is, moving the culture forward. But in terms of African Americans, man, we doing other things. And then we get mad because these folks take breakdancing seriously. Everybody want to be black, so it's time to be black. Yeah, and I get that, understand that. But if you're not going to live the culture, somebody else is. If you're not going to live your culture, somebody else is. Don't be mad at them because they doing what you refuse to.
Yeah, and you see that with battle rap, because battle rap is part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? It was in the parks, and you going toe to toe with people who got the best bars, and it transcended into whole arenas. Shout out to Babs Bunny from Making the Band. She
Yeah.
got Queen of the Ring. Vig got King of the Ring, and this other
Remy got a league now, right?
yeah, Remy got a league
Remy
now.
got a
Dang,
league.
I forgot what the league is called,
Hey,
but
Cha
but
Cha, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Battle rap is probably the last bastions of real hip hop culture. Like battle rap been keeping us on life support. Like battle rap industry is amazing what they've been able to do with battle rap. The amount of money that they're generating, the interest, the numbers they do on these streaming platforms. Like you gotta salute battle rap when it comes to like hip hop culture. The purity, the authenticity of it. Man, shout out to all the battle rappers out there making it a go.
yeah, shout out. I had Enes here last week, and we was talking about it. He's a part of battle rap. He was
Oh yeah,
also
crazy, crazy.
making the man, and
Legend.
making the man, making the band, and he's also an incredible artist, great writer,
Yeah.
got a lot of ghost writing credits. I'm not at liberty to say, but you'd be surprised what projects he was really
The
involved with
bars.
behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I said that too, and I was like, not only that, but battle rapping keeps your bars tight. Like it keeps you sharp, it keeps your
Mm-hmm.
pen sharp. And I think the reason why it's so successful because we kept that within the culture. It was an ongoing thing. Not only did we create leagues, but people do it on a regular it still happens in your high school lunch tables to this day.
Yeah.
It's still going on.
It,
So I think
it
you're
like
very right about that.
and the dope shit like with battle rap is like it's got a very what do you call it? Like it's a very what do you call it? Like it's its own thing. Like it's its own world. As big as it isn't commercial. As big as it hasn't crossed over. It's not plastic. It's not because the audience, the followers, the people who really make it a go are so locked in to the personalities and the characters and the end of the battles that go on, the competitions, the storylines. It's like when you look at the music business, you got jokers selling their ass left and right. You know, you making plastic just for the masses. Everything is judged on what the masses want to hear. Battle rap is not about the masses. Battle rap is about the battle rap audience.
Yeah, that's a whole fact, and I can't wait to see what else comes from that. And I think you're right. It might be the saving grace that hip hop actually needs, and the dope institution. And the reason why I don't think it can be mainstream because it's too raw. It's not cookie cutter. It's not something that you got a script. Like it's so real, and I think that's why a lot of us, resonate with that because not only do we see ourselves in it, but we see people that we know in there. We probably can't write bars just as witty, but we probably said some funny thing to that effect, or we know how to snap. So we appreciate that kind of dynamic in our culture,
Mm-hmm.
whereas other people from different cultures wouldn't understand it. Like people think like you actually trying to kill them or insult them when you just snapping on them for jokes and kicks and giggles.
Yo,
So
I just saw a clip on Instagram. It was a battle in Asia. I don't know if it was Japan or China or Korea. I don't know where it was, but somewhere in Asia, and it might have been Thailand or Philippines or some. So the audience was like, it was like 1,000, 2,000 people in the spot. Got the two MCs going at it, speaking some language you cannot understand. I don't know what dude is saying, but whatever he said, he murdered dude, right? Then he hit that last bar, the whole crowd, "Ah!" in Chinese and some shit. It's just crazy. But that's the power of hip hop, the power of, you know, our people creating lanes and it having such an impact on everybody else. You see everybody hopping the lane we created. We just got to be able to control the lane and not just give the lane away. Once we create it, now we gonna hold on. We gonna control it. We gonna drive the car. Not, oh yeah, you drive. Nah, we ain't doing that.
yes, we definitely need to get back our culture. And shout out to Snoop and Eminem for trying to make it mainstream. I know Eminem was trying to do something with either MTV or VH1 at one point to have like a
Mm-hmm.
reality show
Mm-hmm.
and put battle rappers on there. It was
Mm-hmm.
short lived, but he get an E for effort.
Well, you
And
see Wild and Out with Nick Cannon, what he was able to do with his whole thing. That was like a spinoff of battle rap.
Yeah, exactly. That's a fact, Mundo, with that.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I really loved was how Snoop did it because he did it on the BET Hip Hop Awards,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought out. I think the first year it was Murder Mook, Calico. Dag, I forget the young lady's name, but she's nasty too. It's gonna come to me, and they ripped it. They ripped it so much, especially Murder Mook. How you play the whole entire audience? Like you played the whole show. You shitted on the whole show with your Harlem self. Oh, I love where I'm from, so excuse
Big
me.
shout out to
But
Harlem.
just like that's just like a Harlem person to shit on the whole crowd, the stage, even Snoop, and he brought you out. Like how you come at Snoop? So and it was so raw, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna change the game. Like I was so excited to see battle rap on a major stage like that. And you know how them exacts be in the audience and everything
Mm-hmm.
like that. So everybody from everywhere got to witness what we already know is fire. So I like the way Snoop did it, brought the battle rap. I hope, he goes back and do something more with it or whatever. But I love the way he did it. Yeah, as far as battle rap is concerned. Now, speaking of institutions and their involvement with hip hop, another current event that had everybody in the frenzy was Billboard's top 50 MCs of all time. I'm going to share my screen so we could take a look at that list together and see if you agree, disagree, who should have been on there, who shouldn't have, or everybody deserved it. What say you? So it starts off with, hold on, with Rick Ross at 50. How do you feel about that?
I think Rick Ross is in the 50. I don't know if he's number 50, but I think he's in the 50.
In the 50?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like. I mean, I'm more of a conscious MC. I like more positive type stuff, but I like some edgy stuff too. And You can't front on the brother's song making ability. He got bars for days. And he know how to pick some tracks. So I
Yeah.
give Rick Ross a go.
Yes, and I like Rick Ross a lot. I think he is so soulful, and he came through at a time where we had all that snap music and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and I think
Yeah.
he turned that around. So,
Every day I'm hustling that. So the first time I heard that song, I was on my way to Howard's Homecoming, the year it dropped. I think it was 2005, and it's the first time I heard it. That's gonna be the biggest record in the country. As soon as I heard it, that's gonna be the biggest record in the country. Like that, chun, 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 it just set a tone for everything that was to come after for him.
yes, that's a fact. So 49 is Rev Run.
He needs to be higher.
Who
He
needs
needs
to
to be
be
higher.
higher?
Like people Run DMC, Jam Master Jay. People don't understand the doors they opened for us, how there was no rap music and on a lot of these radio stations and platforms, and they wasn't checking for nothing rap until Run DMC, Joseph Simmons, and Darryl McDaniel came through and showed us what it was. So I would definitely have Rev Run higher than that.
Okay, so can you confirm this? But did they change the way people dress in hip hop?
Yes. Well, it's not that they changed the way people dressed in hip hop. They changed the way artists presented themselves. When we used to watch like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and the Cold Crush Brothers and these different groups that would come out in the 70s, they were highly influenced by the funk artists of the 70s. Parliament Funkadelic, Bootsy Collins, Rick James. Entertainment back then was entertainment. So they dressed for the stage in that sense. Run DMC made it made it okay for entertainers just to dress like normal people, just regular people, how you would see them on the street. So in the culture in the 70s, people didn't dress like entertainers. It's not like you walking through the streets and people got on, you know what I mean, like looking like Prince and that did not just
Anybody
walking.
was wearing those sequins.
Now you're not going to the parties and just seeing jokers. Now, if you was an artist, if you was a performer, and you wanted for the stage show, then that's what you wore. So people got to cut that out. Like, that's what I'm saying. You have hip hop culture, and then you have the entertainment industry. It's two different things.
And I like that you keep saying that. I like that. All right. So the next one is Melly Mel at 48. What say you?
It got to be higher than 48. It's Melly Mel. It's the message. We're talking about Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5.
Would you say he was the first conscious rapper?
I was about to say he was one of the first conscious MCs. You got to be higher than 40. 40 what? Come
He's
on, y'all.
48.
Your Billboard is wilding. Don't stop it.
All right. The next one, MC Light at 47.
MC Light got to be higher than 47. Understand? MC Light was the female Rakim. You heard Rock. I got a thing called Page Turner.
That's the first time I ever heard anybody describe her like that. The female Rakim. I like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We had things called the Page Turners. It's rappers that come and they turn the page. Like Run DMC, like you said, with the fact they turned the page. Rakim turned the page. Light was so reminiscent of Rakim with the vocal tone and how she set her bars up for female MCs and for MCs, period. She turned the page. She showed that a woman could be taken seriously as a real MC. She got to be higher than that.
I love that. Okay, 46, Jada Kiss.
Jada Kiss is higher than 46.
Yes, like that's disrespectful.
Did they see what happened at the verses? Did they?
We talked about the verses. Remember, our interview was right after the verse. I think like a day or two after, or that week, we did our interview and we talked about it a little bit. Yeah.
If you see what the God did at verses right then and there, real MC. So you need to be higher than this.
Yes, that's a fact. I totally agree. Okay. 45, Ice-T.
I'm going to put Ice-T higher than 45. He's the God of West Coast gangster rap. he's credited really for bringing hip hop to the West Coast with his association with African Islam. He's foundation. When you see, I'm saying jokers got to do their research. Like I got this line, something out of nothing. Something out of nothing, the culture grew from breaks, boys with fat laces helping DJs carry crates. Ice-T helped create something out of nothing. Run DM, like these Melly Mel, these people, it was nothing. So they always get higher deference because everybody else got something to work with. I get the influence, take a little from here, I'm gonna take a little bit from here, I'm gonna get some influence from here, I'm gonna build on this. They giving you something nobody's ever heard before. So of course, Ice-T got to be a little higher.
Yes, I love going through this with you. Yeah. So 44, Queen Latifah.
She got to be higher. Why? Queen. Period. Point blank. Done. Like you bring in the reggae chat, the whole Jamaican element into it, representing Jersey. Another pioneer for women. UNITY. Ladies first, I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, it's just this is my first time really paying attention to this Billboard list. I'll be honest with you. I saw what it was, like the first 10. I was like, yeah, I see where they're going. I ain't really digging. But now that I'm digging in, I'm like, this is kind of borderline disrespectful.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think like she was, especially at the beginning, she was so raw. Like she's another barbarian. Like, she had bars. And I'm pretty sure she could still give up them bars effortlessly.
Yeah.
So hell yeah. Okay, so 43 Bun B.
Come on, man. Come on. Stop it. Like, you know what I mean? UGK. Underground King. Southwest legend. Texas. Rest in peace, Pimp C.
Yes.
Like, bring style and just bring something that's just, it's Bun B. Like, it's him. It's just, I'm glad he's in the 50, but another one that should be higher up, in my opinion.
Yes. All right. 42 Redman. Why are you laughing?
They wilded out. Come on. What? Yeah, come on, man. Oh my God. Who did this list?
We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that.
Go Jersey.
And I want your thoughts on that as well.
But I guess who was before him? Latifah, right?
No, Bun B.
Bun B. Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely Redman got to be higher up. One of the illest MCs ever. Put it this way: if Eminem was black, he's Redman.
You think so?
If Eminem is black,
we might have a debate about Eminem.
I tell you why, right? I'm what's called a backpack rapper. Right. Backpack rappers couldn't get the platform that Eminem got. It's not to take anything away from him lyrically, because I said if he was black, he'd be Redman. And Redman's one of my favorite MCs. So Eminem, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Eminem. He's one of my favorite MCs. But because he's Elvis, because he's the Osmonds.
Real quick, I really and you kind of spoke about this earlier when you was talking about the machine behind them, right? And honestly, I really feel like he had a machine that propelled his career. I truly feel like if he was a black rapper, he wouldn't get all the hype and accolades and respect in the industry. I don't know. For some reason, it feels like white privilege. We only giving him this over. I think it's overhyped. Like it's over ratedness only because of that white factor, and he had the machine about it.
Right.
Benzino talks about that. when he was doing the Source and stuff like that, and they had their little thing going on. But you kind of see that, you kind of see who was in his corner and what they were associated with as far as like the entertainment business is
Right.
concerned, to heavily push his career out there.
Yeah.
So, and
Now,
then when I'm listening, like trying to be a fan, because I kind of laughed at his shit, but I never took him as a serious rapper like you or Carol. I never. Y'all don't belong. I don't feel
yeah,
like
well,
y'all
see,
belong in the same
that like
category.
I wanna, one, what I love about Eminem is that he really invests in the culture. Like we talked about his investment in battle rap. Serious, Shade 45 over at Serious. Like he makes sure that backpack rappers like myself are included in the conversation. He keeps the Redmans and the Tretches and he keeps those for. It's not like he doesn't represent the culture to the fullest. So I don't want to ever seem like I'm throwing shade to Eminem. I just know.
Oh no, just
that,
for the disclaimer, these is my
yeah, no, but I agree what you said. It's like there's white privilege that's not about Eminem, Marshall Mathers, the person. Is white privilege in that the system is set up to function a certain way, and they're always seeking out Tarzan. The system is always looking for Tarzan, that one white dude in a jungle full of men, you know what I mean? And they found Tarzan. Now, here's the thing about Eminem. If he don't show and prove, it don't matter how white he is. If he not dope, you're not dope. And he just happened to be that dope, that skilled. But Redman should be higher up on this list.
That's a fact. And I do agree, like you can't really, I mean, I could take a few things as far as like the bar situation is concerned and the quality of music, but those things are personal preferences. But as far as his participation in the culture, yeah, I won't take that away from him. And shit. And this is just me being a smart ass. You should, my nigga. Like you maximize on our whole motherfucking culture. This has nothing to do with Hakim Green. This is just my own little commentary to the situation.
But he gets kudos because he
That's
does
the
it.
least you could do, that's the least you could do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you need another branch off for Serious, and you need to put some more things in the motherfucking culture, because what you got out, I don't think you put that much back in. I don't know. That's my personal opinion, not of Hakim Green's. So don't take it out on him. But I want all the smoke. I dare y'all to come at me about
you must
some
be reading my
goddamn
mind. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke.
Yeah, so let's move forward. Okay, so 40, that was 42,
Okay.
41,
Yeah, E40. I'm glad he's on the list. Okay. I mean, he's a Bay Area legend, creator of many styles, creative whole languages. So yeah, him being on the list makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, here's another little pushback. And this is just for conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Am I bugging or am I on point? Personally, Cha-Cha Mystique, I think he did a lot more legendary shit behind the scenes of hip hop than him as an artist. I still never got his bars. Like, and I'm not even trying to play you, because I'm pretty sure you represent Bay, the Bay Area. I'm pretty sure a lot of people got inspired by you. And, even with them stories of Tupac and the Biggie situation and all that other stuff, the behind the scenes things, even not only that stuff, but other things, legendary, iconic shit. I salute you. You're a real G and a real man. I will never take that away from you. But the music for me, it was a hard pass for me back then.
Have you ever met him? Have you ever met E40?
No, I never met him.
All right. He's one of those cats. If you meet him, his rhymes is gonna make total sense to you then. Okay. He one of the coolest motherfuckers you ever want to meet, first of all. We were in the Channel Live was in the I Got 5 on the remix video. And when we went out there, it was like all love, all embrace. Well, what up, Tiger? Come on, man. Come and get this drink. You know what I mean? Get this 41. Let me sprinkle some of this on you, man. Come on over here. It's family, it's love, it's love. And he get to spit that spit, and it's rolling off his like water. And you go, Oh, that's now I get and understand what he's saying. But at the same time, coming out of the Bay Area, he's speaking to a certain crowd. That's the thing about authentic hip hop, is that you're speaking to your people, whoever your people may be. Now, we might not be in his set to really get and understand, but when you go there, it's like when you go to Atlanta or you go to Miami and you in the spot, oh, now I get why it's like that. It's the same way for people when they go to New York. You understand why New York music sounds so hard and sounds so like the way we listen to our music. We on trains, is skyscrapers, buildings, everything steel, cold, hard. It's all these different noises and sound. You go other places, it's open air, people in their cars all day, it's pretty outside, it's warm, it's not. So the vibe, the way they deliver, the way they go at it, it's just going to represent that. And when you go in his world, it's like, now I see why the brother spit it like that.
So I gotta, maybe I gotta go back and take a re-listen. I'm gonna give you another
Look,
chance,
you got to go out to
people.
the Bay Area and touch down with the brother and get that
Yeah, I'm
environment.
gonna do that too. I'm gonna try to make that happen. I am. All right, so number 40, Dr. Dre.
As an MC,
It says best rappers, 50 best rappers of all time.
all right, as best producer, Dre's probably number one. Top 5, definitely. I'm not having him on the top rapper list. Just not doing it.
Yeah, because you didn't even write your rhymes. I don't even
You
think he
write your
wrote his
rhymes. I
rhymes.
can't. He don't go on the top. He just don't. No disrespect to the brother. Like, he's amazing. I have so much respect for Dr. Dre as a producer. As an MC, nah.
You think it's fair to say that he is the Quincy Jones of hip hop, or that's doing too much?
I think that's fair.
I do too. I put
think
him in. I put him in that category.
I think that's fair. Like, he's
Yeah,
amazing.
I
He's
put him in
amazing.
that category too.
He's amazing. Yep.
39, Ludacris.
Man. Man. Luda's a dangerous MC. Luda got bars. Luda got flow. Luda got style. Luda got punchlines. Luda got that voice. 39, he might be a little earlier. Maybe top 20s.
Top 20, really?
Top 20s. Well, top 30. But like somewhere in between 20 and 30. I think 39 is maybe a little bit too.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I think he could be somewhere in between 20 and 30. 27, 28, 29, maybe. I don't know. It ain't too many people that can handle him on a track. I think he's spanking most people around on a track. I've heard him on a bunch of collabs, and when he come on, he spank jokers around.
And he got that energy. I like his delivery and energy. So, for me, I think 39 was kind of fair. I wasn't mad when I saw him at 39, but I'm enjoying this with you. Like, and just to hear your stories behind the reason why, I think is priceless and very much needed.
Mm-hmm.
So 38, Gucci Mane.
Yeah, I'm not really into that style of music like that to give a fair assessment. I know his impact and his, his terms of his record sales, and I know his fan base is huge, is mega. But I'm like, a groove station, rock the bell station kind of guy. Yeah. So I wouldn't even know
Timeless
enough to make a
classic.
fair assessment. I don't even want to be disrespectful.
So the next one we have 37, Common.
Come on, y'all wildin'.
Ain't he another backpacker?
Yeah, but the dude is like, as an MC bar to barbarian, like Common's a legendary battle with Ice Cube. Like Common is like sicker than sick. Megastar, actor, his impact. Was he at 37?
37.
I don't know. He higher up on my list. That's for sure.
All right, 36. Yasin Bey. That's my guy. I'm dying to interview him. I'm
Yeah,
dying. I
yeah.
gotta have him in this seat. I would love to sit and talk and build with him because I know his mind is incredible. You know,
Mhm.
and I find that a lot of hip hop, like people got amazing minds. You know, the more I do these interviews with icons such as yourself, you know, it's like I'm kind of upset that in the direction hip hop is because of the minds that bore it. It's crazy for me. But what you
Same,
feel about Yasin
same thing I said
and
about
Mos Def?
Common. Ditto for Most Def.
Wait, say that again.
The same thing I said about Common. Ditto for Most Def.
Yeah, I
Same
think
exact thing. Acting, everything. Just he's, can't say enough about either one of those guys. I'm
yes,
biased. I'm a backpacker, so that's my world. That's my.
it's all right. I'm a backpacker enthusiast.
Mhm.
35 Future.
Same thing I said about Gucci Man. I'm gonna say about Future. I don't know enough. I don't really. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think he should have even made the list. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't think Gucci Mane either,
yeah.
and that's no shade. Like y'all could come for me because y'all know I don't duck no smoke. But I
Uh-huh.
don't think Future should have made top 50. I don't think um
Yeah,
what's
but
the dude
when
name? Future.
it's Billboard. So when you factor in record sales and impact, and like Future and Gucci Mane are huge artists. You can't front on that. It's just that they're not making music for my ears, so I don't really tap in.
Yeah, but I feel like for me, the reason why they shouldn't have made that list because you're talking about rappers. Like if we're just looking on the spectrum of rap, just that isolated part of the culture, y'all don't bring it like that.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're talking about record sales, if you're talking about
Mhm.
certain things, but the most impactful Gucci Mane in the future, nah. The
Well,
most
well, 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 speaking of the most impactful, at number 34, and they're wilding. They're wilding. How you going Chuck D at 34, yo? What y'all doing? Like, this is the voice of Public Enemy. This is when you look at just this black consciousness, late 80s, early 90s. When you look at Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing, the soundtrack for like everything. What? Fight the Power?
our revolution.
Like,
For me, that was the soundtrack to our revolution.
I think if
Outside of
it,
NWA and stuff like that. But like growing up outside of the household, y'all have no idea. Y'all were my first teachers. That's why I be so and then have an openly, even though some people may not agree with everything I say or agree with all of my stances, but you guys were so influential to me, so impactful to me. Y'all shaped the my delivery, the way I give it, my um eager to seek out knowledge and dissect certain things. Y'all the ones, outside of like the 5%ers and stuff like that, y'all were my first teachers, my first real teachers. I was getting the education from you guys that the educational system was no match for. And I just wanted to learn more all the time. So I think I agree with you for him being definitely need to be higher on this list. Chuck D, Most Def, KRS-One, Rakim, a lot of y'all, uh, just Common, like all of them, all the conscious rappers, the so-called backpackers, Melly Mel, you know, all of those different things shaped and molded the debater, the political critical thinker, the what you see of Cha Cha Mystique today. So I had to say that.
salute, Cha Cha. Thank
Yeah. Busta Rhymes, 33.
you. Lyrical beast. Just another person, you don't really want to try to follow Busta Rhymes on a record. and that's like his start with it. Like, you know what I mean? He's from late '80s all the way up to now. He's been relevant in the culture, relevant in the music industry, actor, etc. Definitely somebody I have higher up on my list. But
Not trying to get a little messy, but he was just made headlines about being touched inappropriately by a female fan, and he threw his drink at her.
yeah,
What say you? Was that a bit much or justified?
I mean, I probably wouldn't have went about it that way. My wife would have, but I wouldn't have. Um, it's Bus. Bus. Likes to protect his personal space. So it's actually not out of character if you've heard some of the situations he's been involved in over the years. So it doesn't surprise me he reacted that way.
Yeah, so moving forward, ladies, don't touch Buster in the bottom. No, you
Yeah.
say
Yo,
hi,
but
you
how
shake
about
his
how
hand like a
about
normal person.
for men and women, keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah,
Men
because
and
we
women,
don't know if
men
these
and
men are
women,
married, if they
keep
in
your hands
love,
to
if they
yourself.
standing next to their lady, like you just doing the most. I think that
Yeah,
was
keep
out of
your hands to
pocket.
yourself. Yeah. Ti, Mr. King of the South. I think you know 32, late 20s, 30, early 30s is a good place for Ti for me.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Little Kim, 31.
Uh, Impact is undeniable. Uh, I don't know how much of Kim stuff she actually wrote. I'm not sure, but in terms of her personality and her character, her impact, her celebrity, her showmanship, her song making ability, off the charts. Um, I think 31. I think 31 is a good place for Kim.
Yeah, I think so too. Major shout out to Big. You know what I'm
Oh, of course.
saying?
Rest in
I
peace, Kim.
actually heard the original Queen Bitch song with
Uh
Biggie rapping over it.
huh.
And I was like, and that's my favorite song off of Hardcore. I was like, oh my God, she came off that song so hard. And then listening to Biggie, I'm like, that is Biggie. I was fooled this whole time. And I don't have no excuse for that because back in the day, that when Hardcore came out, CDs was out.
Man,
And
that
you was
shit
able
had
to read it.
street on lock. That hardcore album had the street on
Yes,
lock. My God, that whole movement was just like incredible. Lord
yes.
have mercy.
Yes, I like the part where she be like, "I write a rhyme out in your mouth like Eminem's. Roll with the mafia. Remember them? Tell them when I used to mess with gentlemen. Straight up apostles. Now strictly niggas the jostle." I know that whole shit, but that was like my favorite track on that whole album. It still is. I think that's my favorite song out of Little Kim. Period.
Yeah,
Nothing beats Queen Bitch. Shout out to Biggie, and shout out to her influence because not for nothing. When she came in the game, it kind of feminized the female audience of hip hop because before we was wearing our cross colors too. We was wearing baggy jeans too, and our big t-shirts with our asymmetrical haircuts and our earrings. A lot of us, wanted to cut our joint low like Tony Braxton, but
yeah.
still be baggy with the shades. So that was my look back in the day. At least what I was trying to achieve. And when Little Kim and Foxy Brown came out, now I want to start wearing shoes. Now I want my jeans to be a little tighter. Now I want to have this sex appeal that I wasn't thinking about before. So
Yeah,
it
hip hop was growing
definitely,
up.
yeah, it definitely feminized the industry as far as the way women looked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 30, Lauryn Hill.
Stop playing. Lauren got to be higher up, don't you think?
At least I'm glad she's before Little Kim. No shade, Kim, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that.
I think Lauren need to be higher up than 30. It's like it's Lauren. Like, stop it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Stop it.
iconic. Pusha T 29.
Oh, he's too high. He's too high. and there's no disrespect to him at all because I think he's an awesome MC. Um, content wise, you know, I'll be trying to hear a little bit more from him, content wise, but delivery, bars, you know, brother's dope. You know what I mean? Songwriting ability. You know, he definitely. But with so many of the pioneers at the end, like the Runs and the Mels and the, I would probably have Pusha T a little later.
Yeah, that's a fact. And
But
we
definitely
move
on the list though, like without a doubt. Black Thought is one of the greatest MCs of all time. Don't nobody want it. I don't even know why they got him at
28.
28. What are we doing here? Come on, stop it, y'all. Y'all playing.
Yes. Yes. 27 Q-Tip.
Q-Tip, in terms of his impact with A Tribe Called Quest, is like amazing. His off the head ability. I've seen him and Phife go off the head back and forth for like rounds, like go back. Like it's crazy. Um, I would have Tip. 27 is a good spot for Tip. It's a good spot for Tip.
I kind of miss hearing that sound, the Tribe Called Quest, Q-Tip sound. You know what I really appreciate most about Q-Tip? Not only he's definitely a barbarian, he's definitely, but his swag about it. Like he was so smooth, like it sounded like butter the way he
Yeah,
enter one of those
I mean,
dope ass
I think he's Red Alert's cousin.
Yes.
Yeah, like he's royalty. With his hip hop thing, like Tip was like is like day one. He's seen the whole thing from like a ill perspective.
Wow, I
Yeah,
didn't even know that. And I had G Mims on here too. And I wish I would have known. I would
yeah.
have asked him about that.
I'm pretty sure Tip and Red Alert are related, as is uh Mike from the Jungle Brothers related to Red Alert.
Wow.
Big Pun's got to be higher up on the list. Stop it, y'all.
25 Method Man.
I think 25 is a good place for Method Man.
Okay. You feel like
He,
him and Redman should have been neck and neck, like right after each other?
well, I think Method Man has had a bigger impact, right? His impact is bigger, and that's why he's probably rated higher. Um, I actually have a song with Method Man. Channel Live has a song called "Ghetto Business" off our Arm a Ghetto album. Meth is one of my favorite MCs. Red and Meth, one of my favorite groups. Um, I think Red should have been way higher up on the list though.
Yes, I agree. 24, your man's KRS-One.
Well, first of all, KRS is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely think Chris needs to be higher up on the list they playing.
And I kind of want to talk to you about him once we finish going through this. I want to talk to you about the human education of lies. And I want to talk to you about the position with the Universal Hip Hop Museum. So I think he was named like the top educator or something like that, or in charge of education
Yeah,
aspect of it all.
I forget what his actual position is, but he's working real close with Rocky and the rest of the team and building out some programs with the Universal Hip Hop Museum. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but wait, before you, because you give great stories. So before you go there, we're gonna skim through this. 23 Curtis Blow.
Man, so if you was around early enough, you understand the impact of Curtis Blow. Um, Phenomenal artist, groundbreaker, pioneer. I want to say first gold hip hop artist, gold selling hip hop artist, or maybe platinum, or both. I guess that would be. But you know, Curtis Blow is a legendary MC. 23 is a good place for Curtis Blow.
Yes, and shout out to him for configuring the Hip Hop Alliance.
Yeah.
Him and KRS when they was both on Clubhouse,
Yeah.
and they be spreading the word. I think it's gonna be like a hip hop union type thing, or like
Yeah.
some kind
Yeah.
of support for the pioneers of hip hop and stuff like that. So I kind of heard he's mad at me. Whatever I
Oh,
did, Curtis Blow, I'm sorry.
wow.
I had a debate about hip hop, and you know, I'm gonna just leave it like that. But if I offended you, I was just giving my honest analysis about it. You know, so if you mad at me, I'm sorry, Curtis Blow. Hopefully we can talk about it and square things out because I even though I always talk about I want the smoke, I would never want no smoke with you, Curtis. Mr.
Nah.
Blow, I don't want no smoke with you. All right.
Mm.
And I apologize. I mean, I meant what I said, but if I offended you, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But 22 Ghostface Killer.
I think it's a good place for Ghostface. I might have him higher up on my list, but I'm glad to see him, where he, this high, because the way they've been doing this list, you know what I mean. But yeah, Ghostface is, Wu Tang. No
Yes. Wu Tang
stuff,
for the kids. Wu
stuff.
Tang forever.
Oh wow, DMX 2021. See, man, I guess it's a good place for DMX. However, I know for a lot of people, he's their favorite MC. Like I know a lot of people that's like DMX is their favorite MC. DMX is like, not comparing them, not saying he's like this artist per se, but the love people have for Pac, it's that type of love people have for DMX. Um, so I think 21 could be a good place for him on my list. Around, might have him higher up. His impact is like crazy. So, man, rest in peace, DMX.
Yes. And before I move on, one thing I do want to say is, um, I don't think it was just about the bars for DMX. I think he was larger than life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
um his music changed the sound. It brought it back to the streets when it became flashy, shiny suits,
yeah,
real poppy, and he was like, nah, bring that shit back. So he carried hip hop back to its fundamentals,
yeah,
feeling, that fundamental heart.
yeah,
And I think that was the most impactful thing outside of the beautiful words because and don't shoot the messenger, you guys, because I know I'm gonna hear it in Clubhouse somewhere. But I don't necessarily think he's a barbarian like that. But even with the lyrics, it moved you in a certain way
yeah,
because either you was going through the stuff that he was going through or you could relate to
yeah,
it, you was experiencing it in some form of fashion. So I think that what it was. And then not only that, his storyline, because you were saying something about storyline, his storyline was larger than life. Like he was reality TV without the reality TV. Like he wore his heart and his life on his sleeve. And before social media and all that other stuff, you got to know or get a glimpse into a fraction of what he might have been going through,
yeah,
but it was so profound, it was undeniable. So shout out to DMX.
yeah. He was an incredible songwriter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And his energy is unmatched. 20 Big
I
Daddy Kane.
so for me the greatest year in hip hop is 1988, and the 1988 Kane was my favorite MC. So for me, him, Chris, Ra, they all high up on my list. So 20 is way too low for me with Big Daddy Kane. Like, I'm gonna stop playing.
Okay. 19 Missy Elliott.
See, it's almost unfair with Missy. Like she's a rapper, you know what I mean? But Missy like a songwriting beast. Like,
Yes.
you want to hit, you're not really she got bars. She got bars. She's funny, she's clever, always in pocket. Her cadence, flow, all that should be crazy. But it's like unfair. She's like in on another world to herself. It's like disrespectful to even compare rappers to Missy.
But she does always get compared to Busta Rhymes, saying like she's this female version of that
Nah,
energy.
I'm not riding with that one. She's something else. She's something else. It's not. It's like Is Dougie Fresh on the list?
I don't remember, but we definitely gonna check. But one thing I can say, shout out to Missy Elliott. She will be, I do believe, the first female MC to be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Hall of
Fame.
Fame. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to shout her out. That's huge, huge,
Uh,
huge. You know, it's debatable, but it's well deserving, and I'm gonna just leave it like that. I think a few other female artists should have got that spot first. You know, I think I did it. I forgot who I did the interview with, but they also said that thing too. Like nobody should have been in the Hall of Fame before the pioneers,
wow.
and I agree wholeheartedly with that. And yes, I'm not taking nothing away. I'm not dimming
Is
her light.
Latifah in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
Man, nice. You gotta put Latifah in first. Come on.
You know.
No shade to Missy Elliott, by the way.
No shade, you know, you got to put that disclaimer out for the sensitive people in the back. But you know, that's why I made sure I say that. But trust me, it's not because I'm hating on her. I just feel like the legends, the icons should have been there first. They should have all got their accolades, all that shit first, and then we deal with whomever. But 18 Ice Cube.
I think that's a good place for Ice Cube. I can rock with that. Top 20. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I could rock that too. Shout out to all Geminis. Geminis infect the world. Yes, we do. And like I was saying before, he too was one of my first teachers, not just by his lyrics, but what he did in reality and took a stand on.
Yeah,
You know, throughout his whole entire career, he always stood 10 with the unpopular opinion or the unpopular thing to do, and prove that instead of being a follow, lead your own way and you become bigger than any plan anybody else have for you. You know, walk on your own. And I truly
the brother is a mogul.
Yeah.
And he's a mogul. And he's a businessman. Cube is again a door opener. He's a page turner and a door opener. First of all, NWA, first and foremost, NWA. And then him, you know, breaking out on his own, America's Most Wanted, Kill at Will, all that death certificate, you know, all that shit is just like, you know, foundational bricks in the culture, you know, especially from a West Coast perspective, iconic movies, the whole 9 yards. Ice Cube is politics. Ice Cube's impact is undeniable.
Yes, and shout out to Ice Cube. He always have my respect. And you know what I'll say, you know, I don't think, I mean, he had bars, you know, but I don't put him up there with the barbarians in my mind of who I think barbarians are and how I critique that shit. But as far as a stand-up man,
yeah,
as
and
far as an
his
influencer,
voice
an
is
educator,
undeniable. And his voice is undeniable.
yes,
He got that. Ice Cube got that voice that cuts through. You know, that's that man.
yes. 1750 Cent.
I think 50 Cent's a top 20 MC for sure, for sure. I'm surprised he's higher than Ice Cube, to be honest with you.
Me too.
You know, his impact is undeniable. Songs galore, songwriter extraordinaire, another mogul, TV movie mogul. You know, his catalog compared to Ice Cube though, it's like Ice Cube got much more of a catalog than 50. So, you know, this list again, it's not about comparing bars, because like when I look at a person like Missy, she's like a songwriting genius. So it's again unfair to compare these MCs and rappers to her, you know. And then when you look at folks who've spanned generations and decades versus somebody who's been around for, you know, 10, 15, 20, it gets a little murky. But 50 Cent definitely a top 20 rapper, no doubt.
Yes, and I love, you know, his persona, you know, and I love what he's doing for the culture, you know, transcending out of just the rap part of it all, you know. So great businessman.
Great businessman. And
I kind of like the bully persona. I'm not gonna even hold you. I like the troll storyline of his career. These are the things that make hip hop, entertaining, and I love that
We
aspect
just
of
don't never
his
want to see it get out of hand,
personality.
though. You just don't want it to get out of hand.
Yes. 16, Scarface.
Top 20 MC for sure. Man, another Southwest king. Some say that's the king of the South. Um, Scarface is just so impactful from the Ghetto Boys all the way up. Um, soulful brother. Just tells you how it is. He describes it in a way with so much wisdom and so much insight. And he giving you that street shit, but he giving you jewels to live by. So I fucks with Face. Definitely a top 20 MC.
Yes. 15, J. Cole.
J. Cole is one of the most dynamic, newer MCs that we've seen in the last 20, 25 years. I had to meet him. I had the pleasure of meeting him when he went by the name Therapist. He was still a student at St. John's.
Okay.
And so I knew early on the brother was going to be something special. And then he's went on to do some phenomenal things. And, lyrically, in terms of the bars, he bringing it, and he's able to push units and sell records and move streams and do all that fine stuff. And he's a down-to-earth brother. He gives back. Philanthropy's off the chain. Salute to J. Cole, top 20 MC. So here's the thing, though. Again, I come from a generation that's like, you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of cats in my generation probably before I get to J. Cole.
That's a whole fact. And
not,
and I
not
kind
to
of
take
like
not to take anything away from him. It's just,
Oh, absolutely not.
levels
Because
to
I'm
it.
I'm a fan of J. Cole. You know what was most interesting to watch from him? His evolution, how he became more conscious,
Yeah.
from this, clean cut, sharp hairline,
Yeah.
look like your little brother type dude to
Now he's a
now,
dread.
yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, hold on. What number is this? But go back. What number?
14, LL Cool J, number 14.
They wildin'. Come on, stop it, B. Yeah, playing around.
And LL Cool J is a barbarian now. I give
LL Cool
him.
J is a top 10, maybe top 5, maybe top 2, maybe the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. No? But did he have an album, The GOAT, GOAT?
Yeah, I mean,
He started that
he
whole GOAT
started with the
movement.
GOAT. I think somebody else said they the GOAT though before him. Honestly, somebody. Anyway,
He made it
irrelevant.
more popular because that's what
Irrelevant.
from my understanding.
I don't think anybody wants it from the teacher. That's my personal opinion.
I understand that, but I think he started that whole, how we say "go" in our dialogue when we conversing with each other. I think he started that trend to make it a part of our vocabulary or ebonics or whatever it is that you call it. I don't. One of y'all need to huddle up and come together and come up a name with the way we speak to each other. I think that would be fire. Because I don't want to say ebonics. I don't want to say I speak hood and street. Nah, we got this thing with us.
They playing again. They wilding. They reckless. They reckless. Come on, stop it. Top 10, top 5. Stop it. We can keep going.
Yes.
See how you can't behave. Rakim outside the. Man. He's around the top 10. He's around 12 is a good number for him. 12 is a good number for him. I can feel that. That brother's whoosh.
Shout out to the Geminis. Kanye West, 11. Yeah.
No, he's too high. Kanye.
He's too high?
Too high. Stop it.
All right. Now I gotta be honest. Are you saying that because of political antics or just straight up music or
I'm saying that because a lot of his rhymes wasn't written by him. All right. I'm saying it because Kanye's a songwriter. He's not a spitter. He's a rapper, not necessarily an MC.
Mm.
He's an entertainer. He's a showcase. He's a sideshow. He's a art exhibit. He's a he's a phenomenal producer. He's a rapper. Top 50, yes. 11, no. No. Uh-uh.
Yes, and shout out to Ye. Everybody knows that's my brother in my head. If I had an older brother, it would be fucking obnoxious as Kanye. I think
It,
what made me fascinated by him even more now than back then, because when College Dropout came out, he's another one that changed the sound of hip hop in 2023 and stuff like that. We had the DMX era. He changed it. Then it was starting to sound a little weird a little bit. We got the little Ja Rules and something like that. But then after that, he took it to a whole different place and was able to do things a lot of other rappers or artists were scared to do. So I commend him for that. And those that watch my show and stuff like that, they know where I stand on certain things. It's not necessarily his delivery. I don't mock him for that, because I know desperate times call for desperate measures, or when you're going through something so insane, it gets expressed in a similar manner. But what I will always respect is his bravery to do it. We watched this man lose a lot of shit, which is now backfiring. Adidas came
yeah.
out that they losing money and stuff like that. I put him and Ice Cube in the same type of category when it comes to bravery, just like the Chuck D's.
Can I spit a rhyme for it to you?
Oh, go ahead, dude.
It's not from slave. It's not the bravery, yo. It's from the slavery, bro. Behavior we exhibit is unsavory, so I learned to push the ladder like Black Lives Don't Matter when it's time to rock the nation. Just ignore the chatter and whip that shit like batter, getting money for the feeling. Hashtag stand with Cat, but Hove said we passed the kneeling. We said, what the fuck, 200K to Crutches Club? I guess all lives matter when my brother get the snub. Ends against the middle. We still ain't learned the riddle, how they X out their king like they did Malcolm Little. A game of this or that, we get treated like the black sheep. Should we leave this guy alone like Teddy Riley went to Blackstreet? New York undercover Malik Yoba on the back street. 14th in the west side over by where they pack me. Pause for the cause. Trannies on the track meet. Empire strikes back, but Jesse, this your last week. Everything ain't from the bravery.
Bars, yes.
Some things are the program.
Okay, I get
And
that.
I think a lot of what we see, the antics that are displayed, is part of is as anti-program as it seems. It's really a part of a program. It's really a part of um a mind fuck, so to speak. And we're all being played.
Yeah. Well, that's I never took that off the table, because I know you have like different simulations to gain different outcomes, especially from different people to react a certain way. I always get that. But one of the things with Ye, as far as even with it being a program, not it wasn't just his bravery, but unfortunately we live in a following type of society. And what I was noticing, especially like on Clubhouse, for example, a lot of people not only came out their shell and really spoke to what was going on, but the other conversations that was happening. Because normally, even before social media, a lot of the stuff that he was saying, we was been saying. I remember hearing my parents, my aunts, uncles, in the beauty salon, barbershop, or when you ear hustling and you're not supposed to be, a lot of those similar talking points were always being expressed. So but to do it in a major platform where a lot of people felt like they had to do it amongst ourselves, now we was able to not only speak it out loud, but also engage in conversations with specific people, like, you know, the Jewish community or whatever. Like on Clubhouse, a lot of those conversations were happening, as opposed to it to being separate. A lot of those conversations was happening on a mutual front where everybody had the opportunity to state their side, how they felt, talk to each other, and then you had hundreds of people listening to that and was able to come up with their own thought or logic behind what was happening during that time. So that's something that I truly appreciated. You know, their side got to know how we felt on our side, and you know, vice versa. And
Conversation was sparked.
yes, so I truly appreciate that aspect, because I don't think it would have happened. We would have still, you know, probably a lot of us had to have our head down and not be open enough to even dare have that type of discussion, because we're worried about repercussions or and you know, stuff like that. But you know, shout out to Ye. Um, 10, Nicki Minaj.
Mm-mm. No.
Moving along. 9, Snoop Dogg.
I could see Snoop in the top 10.
Really?
Yes. I mean, from Deep Cover all the way his entire career, to see him do that Super Bowl high, self edit, he couldn't curse. He self edited and didn't miss a lick. When he hosted, when he MC'd, see, MC, move the crowd, mic control, master ceremony. When he MC'd the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight with a cup, you know he has something, the best weed on the planet rolled up. He's smoking the whole time and he's drinking. He's hosting, he's bouncing in between Playboy Snoop, political commentary Snoop, sports commentary Snoop, pimped out Snoop. Like, he's giving you all these different versions of himself without saying, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, the brother is like, if you really take stock into what Snoop does on a daily basis, like, it's nothing short of amazing, considering he's smoked out all the time. You got to factor that in. You're not catching him that high, but he's conducting business and juggling things and making things go. He's got all these endeavors and happening, and mind you, he's always Snoop Dogg.
And you know, shout out to him, you know. And I wasn't, when I say really early, and this is for, you know, those that are watching, I wasn't trying to play Snoop, because honestly I feel like he's one of the hardest working men in hip-hop. He earns the right to be a household name.
Yeah.
You know, I probably squint my eye about just the rapper part, you know what I'm saying, because the school of thought that I come from, and you know, all the real rappers slash MCs that, you know, didn't even make this list. You know, that's the only reason why I side-eyed the situation. But as far as influence, as far as the business aspect of it all, you know, you gotta salute your hat off to this
And he
man.
got mad. He got hits. He got
Yeah,
mad
he do
hits.
got hits. I would never take
He
that away
got
from him. He does.
mad hits.
But that No Limit era was kind of sketchy though. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta
Man,
be
but
honest.
I mean, when you got jokers on this list that ain't had no MC career in Udine, he's still relevant as an MC today.
Yeah, he is. He is. Um, 8, Drake.
Uh, so, uh, I mean, you can't deny impact at all. You can't deny influence at all. You can't deny songwriting ability at all.
Hold up, pause. Time out. Time out. He writes. He don't write his stuff.
No, he don't write. He don't write none of his stuff.
Not to be labeled on the Billboard's 50 rappers of all time. No,
Oh, word. I don't know. See.
he's an
All right.
R&B singer. He ain't no fucking rapper.
Yeah, but again, was that Missy situation? So him and Missy just had their own category. Who's the best between Missy and Drake?
Missy, I give it to
Boom,
Missy.
done deal. But okay, next.
Yeah, they OD with this, and to
Yeah.
have him number
I
8
mean, he
and he
would be.
top
He
10.
would. He definitely wouldn't be in my top 10. But impact, influence, like Drake is. Drake and this guy right here is the last 20 years of MCs.
But I'll give
Big,
it to Wayne
basically.
more than I will ever give it to Drake.
Well,
You
Drake,
know, even though
Lil
we
Wayne is Drake's doorway. Like Drake,
exactly,
yeah, for sure. And
but Little Wayne is a barbarian. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know,
well, there were stretches when he didn't write his stuff either.
what when he was 15.
No, Gilly was writing some of Wayne's stuff, and I'm saying too much, but yeah, the
I
Gilly thing is
mean,
kind of public. I ain't, but I don't want to say too much. But yeah,
all right, but
yeah.
I mean, I
And
always
I got a
feel
shameless plug. People don't know this, but like I was Wayne's weed man for a little bit in New York. I think we talked about this. No, we didn't talk about this.
I think we did, but can you refresh my memory
Yeah, so the
without saying
the
too
whole
much? Because I
concept
know.
the concept of him naming his album the Carter. I was like, yo, had the idea, and it was like Jay-Z is Carter, Wayne is Carter, and Wayne was calling me for weed. I'm like, yo, you ever think about naming your album the Carter? He was like, the Carter? Why the Carter? I was like, well, it actually works perfect with you because Cash Money Records in New Jack City, Cash Money Brothers, they sold all their work out the Carter.
Wow, no, I
He
would
was
have
like,
remembered that.
he
I
was
would
like,
have remembered that.
Keem, yo, you got something, Keem. Yo, you got something, Keem. And he named his album The Carter, and now he's five deep into the Carters. Yeah, but I mean, it's his last name, so I mean, it wasn't no big deal other than me
No,
recognizing
but
his
that's
last name's Carter.
iconic stuff. That's iconic stuff.
Yeah.
You know, wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. I would have remembered that. So I don't think we really touched
No.
it. I
Yeah.
would have remembered that. But I think okay, the reason why I feel like it's right because he's hella influential. And I think, you know, the things that he does now or the way he looks physically now overshadows the work that he put in. Like, you know, he started at such a long age, has longevity. I think he's been in the game almost 30 years his damn self.
When I
Almost
saw
30 years.
that
25, 30 years.
when I
That's a
saw
lot.
that Juvenile, that first Juvenile joint that popped off, huh? Huh? Hot on
When
the
you going
block.
a little bit high, you got hit high.
So
Yeah.
there's a real quick clip of Wayne as a kid, and he stood out to me then. I didn't know if he wasn't. I didn't know him as to be part of the Hot Boys and all that. I didn't know that. I just saw the video on either BET Rap City or Video Music Box, or whatever it was, and he kind of said, "I bet you that kid is somebody."
Yes.
And he's one of the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah, he's a bar, and even though we complain about, you know, this new age of rap and stuff like that, he birthed all the littles, not just Drake, but he
Yeah,
birthed all these little
like
crazy
there's a
dudes.
whole almost genre of subculture of rap, of hip hop that Lil
Yeah.
Wayne is responsible for.
Yes, and some people will give credit to Chief Keef, but I'm sorry. I saw the evolution, you know.
Yeah,
I was in real time, and for me, you know, analyzing the situation, it was definitely Wayne. And I think Wayne birthed the Chief Keefs of the world so we can have, you know, that spice to drill
yeah.
rap or whatever we have today. But
Cha cha,
definitely Lil Wayne, huh?
cha cha. Can we just have a little quick pause for a second?
Sure.
I got to step away for 1 second. Well, more
Okay.
than 1 second. But I'll be right back.
All right, yeah, do your thing. Let me tell you, I was listening to
You're muted.
my bad.
I think
Oh,
you. I think you was muted the whole time.
yeah, I think I was muted too the whole time, and I was saying a whole lot. I'm gonna have to edit that, but that's funny as hell. I mute for my background noise because I don't want it. Because I live in the city of New York, so you hear all kinds
Yeah.
of
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh for sure.
Yeah, so I was muted the whole time. I'll go back and say that. But yeah, like, comment, and share. Just in a nutshell, if these are my first teachers, and I'm appreciative that Hakim Green is definitely in the building. But we at
Number
uh
six.
yeah, number 6. Somebody put in the comment section. I was trying to read that, but number 6, the Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, six is a good place for Big. Six is. I mean, it's too early. He's missing just too early. Too early. It's just too early.
Yeah,
I would, yeah.
I agree with that.
He's one of my.
Um,
I mean, he's one of my favorite MCs of all time. Like he's just. We lost him way too early.
Yeah, he did. And I wanted to see more. I would love to see the evolution. Him and Pac. I think Pac would have been involved in politics.
Yeah. And
He,
when you look at Ice Cube, he's reminiscent of Pac to me, and his voice, and so yeah, definitely I see that.
yes. 5, Eminem.
Uh, Too high.
Yes, thank you. I agree. Honestly, I don't think he should. You know what? I'm gonna dial back. But yeah,
But
not
that's again, I come from an era. I got just I come from the '70s and '80s, so it's like you got a Chris, Rakim, Kane. They got who are. I ain't seen no G Rap on there. I ain't seen no Slick Rick on there. You know what I
right.
mean? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, so,
Yes.
uh huh. What's next?
Pac.
Pac. I mean, you gotta, impact, songwriting, you know, historic, legendary, iconic, top five. I get that.
Yes. And he's another one of my master teachers. I'm gonna start calling y'all that, my master teacher.
He wouldn't be in my top five though. But again, I come from an era that's like it's a certain
Nas, number 3.
Nas. I get it. I understand. I get it. I understand. He wouldn't be in my top five. Well, let me stop. See, I don't know. Cause all right, so I got this thing where Chris, Kane, Rakim, Slick Rick, Coogee Rap, Chuck D. Every MC
Coogee
after
Rap. I'm glad you said Coogee Rap. I don't think people give him that's his flowers. But go ahead.
every MC after has been a version of one or a combination of more than one. Every rapper ever since is you can hear either Chuck D, Chris, Rakim, Kane, Slick Rick, Coogee Rap. So Nas is Coogee Rap, Rakim. But he took it to the next level. So though this set of MCs for me is my personal favorite, you can't front on Nas, you can't front on Jay, you can't front on Big, Certain people, wouldn't be in my personal top five, but I get it. And Jay is Jay to me probably is the GOAT right now.
Okay. So number 2 is Kendrick Lamar.
They wildin', stop it.
Yeah, especially before Nas. But this is the second time in my experience they did that to Nas. Because I remember when Kendrick Lamar first came out on the BET Awards, he beat Nas. He beat Nas. I forgot the name of the awards, album of the year or something like that.
Well,
it was one of those top awards, and I was pissed. And this is before I really got to know who Kendrick Lamar was. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, who's this Kendrick Lamar? Because I'm real protective over y'all. In my head, I'm crazy. But I'm like, yo, who?
He's like it's not the front on Kendrick Lamar. He's super, super dope. I love what he represents. I love what he stands for. He's super impactful. Soul Mad units, Soul Mad records, all that. It's just that for me, I come from a different era. So, but I get it in that it's Billboard, it's 2023. You want to appeal to a certain audience that are tuned into the culture. Like our generation, we not as tuned into the culture, So in that, you got to have representation from, the newer generation. And he does a very good job in being that artist. So no disrespect to him. Like for this generation, I'm so happy that he's that guy.
Yes. And I don't want people to get it twisted. No, I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan, but when we're talking about a list and we're talking about him over Nas and stuff like that, I side eyeing it. But what you just said now, especially of this age, he's necessary. He's necessary. I would never take nothing away from Kendrick Lamar. I think he's another revolutionary. I think he's another one who expresses righteousness through his craft. I think he could be a modern backpacker. Would you categorize him as a me too?
For sure. He's making way more money than we made, but yeah.
Yeah, he's today's conscious rapper, and I feel like it needs to be more like him because back then it was more of y'all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We have more varieties of the backpackers and conscious rappers. Yeah. This day they rare, very rare.
I think Game could have been on that list though.
Game?
I think Game could have been on that list.
Top 50?
Top 50. I think Game could have been on the list.
I gotta think about that.
I mean, he
I'm a
represents
fan of game. Don't come for me because I be on Clubhouse and I do be in them
because
whack 100 rooms. So
yeah,
y'all can try to jump me all y'all want to because y'all know
yeah.
I
I'm
don't
I'm
just
I'm
whack.
just speaking solely from record sales, bars, songs, impact, the way he held it down for the West Coast over a long stretch of time. And he was the voice of the West Coast for a long time.
That part.
He represents a whole era of, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's dope. And I think he does get overlooked because of his past affiliations with certain folks, and politics get played, and it's understandable though. I get it. Um, but I think he's doper than what he's given credit for.
Yes, and his latest album is fire too. Whack 100 did like a listening party on Clubhouse, and it was really great. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the fact that now his career is being bombarded with a lot of controversial things, and I hope some of the stuff is not true, but I hope he could overcome this and
Oh, what
just stick
happened?
to
I
the
don't know what happened.
music.
I didn't hear about all that. But never
Like
mind.
little,
Don't
it's
even
like
tell me. Don't even tell me. I don't even want
yeah,
that. I just
yeah.
keep it.
I'm gonna leave it
Yeah,
like that. But I
keep it
hope
like that.
I just want to say I hope he overcomes it,
Mhm.
and I want to see more music. But yeah, and I'm gonna leave that with Whack 100.
Boom.
Number one, Jay-Z.
And I cannot argue the point. I mean, in my top five, like I said, I got a certain in my top five is based on a for my 16, 17, 18-year-old self, 19, 20-year-old self, like college, growing into manhood, trying to see the world in a certain way, and having MCs like Chuck D, Brother J, these guys kind of give me context to the world around me. That's a very important time for any young man's life. So, I expect other people to have different opinions. But Jay-Z transcends so many generations and decades and eras, and you know what I mean? And like what he's grown to be, no one's done it like that brother right there. And for a long time, I was critical of Jay because of the content and to me glorifying the materialistic side of the culture, quote unquote. I wasn't really with that. But the empire he's built and how he's affected so many lives in a positive way, and he stands up for a lot of the right things. Um, I definitely get why he's number one on the list. He deserves that.
Yes. Do you feel like he be trolling people when he be acting like he don't want his picture taken? Like, what is up with him and photographers, especially at his own event at the Rock Nation brunch? You see him tell the camera person to stop, I guess, taking pictures of him. And I think there was another event years ago. I think they was trying to take pictures, and you could tell it was a private event. So even the photographers were there had to be invite media,
Right.
and he took the camera away. So what you think is up with him
He
pitching
probably
the
he probably
photographer?
has one person dedicated to take all his photos. There's probably
That
one
makes sense.
person that's their, if that person's not taking it, it's not getting taken. Controls all his images. Like, just to consider when you look at back to Gay, right? And like when you get to a certain level of the game, the chessboard is crazy. Like it's real crazy. And the one, like, the most important thing you gotta protect is your family. And when you see how him and Beyonce get down with their family, they protect it. You could take it. It's not messy. It ain't all because the media. If they can get anything on you, if they can get any dirt on you, it's a rizap done. So for them to keep the media on because you always, every time you go somewhere, there's paparazzi. It's just there. You can't avoid it. But you don't, them, LeBron James and his queen, like certain people on that level of the game, you gotta applaud them when they can keep they shit secret when it's not all out in the open. So
No,
Yeah,
and I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think, Kanye just had like his latest outburst was about paparazzi taking his pictures, especially after he's telling them stop taking my picture. And then I don't even think he knew he was being recorded, but he did like this long speech like how much you getting paid off this? Like am I going to get a percentage?
it's
You
too
know,
late.
and I think
It's too late. It's too late because like you've made yourself into a spectacle, whether that's your intention or not. That wasn't your intention to be a spectacle, right? But it's like you remember the cartoon Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, and they was trying to show each other up. It was on stage. They was all trying to outdo each other,
yeah.
and then Daffy Duck was like, "Ah, I got it." And he blew himself up, and Bugs Bunny with it. The whole audience was like, "Standing ovation, standing ovation," and the ghost of Daffy Duck was going up in the air, and Bugs was like, "You got to do it again, encore, encore. You got to do it." He said, "I can only do this one time."
Yeah.
Right. So you put yourself in a position where you're constantly outdoing the last thing you did. So you're creating the environment where what is he gonna do next? I gotta be there to get it because he's gonna give me a rant. He's gonna give me a da-da. He's gonna get like they're primed to act that way. So it's kind of like the Frankenstein monster that you created yourself. It's too
Mm.
late.
Yeah, but what I would say is I think the younger generation of artists should take heed of that, especially that last message, and be more conscious about when they are doing photo ops. I mean, I'm not saying shit on your fans and stuff like that. I'm talking about like paparazzi, these blog media posts. Especially the messy bloggers. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That give the rest of us bad reputation and stuff like that. That kind of thing. I think, these new artists need to be more conscious about how their imagery is being used for what
Mhm.
and get a percentage. And we're
Yeah.
going to talk about getting taking back percentages. But before I want to wrap this segment up, one more question about the 50 rappers. Who do you feel like should have made the list? Can you give me at least two rappers, two artists that should have made the list that didn't?
Well, I said Game was one, and wow, Slick Rick.
I'm going to give one. And
Okay.
this is for the ladies. You spoke for the men. I'm gonna speak for the ladies. Rod Digger should have been up there.
All right. Jersey.
I think Rod Digger is the most illest MC. Now I get Queen Latifah, I get MC Light. I would never take nothing away from them. But just to be with a little cockiness to it, I think she would eat all of y'all.
Wow.
Just my personal opinion. That's just me. I told you I want all this smoke. So holla
Big
at me.
shout out to Rod Digger. No
Put that
doubt.
in the comment section. You got a
Jersey.
problem? Take it in the
Jersey.
comment section, and I gladly answer you. But
But you
I
know what,
think
though? I'm bugging. Tretch should have been on there. Tretch wasn't on
yes, Tret should have been on there.
there. Man, what's
But
going
Rod
on?
Digger, she should have definitely been on there. I think she could eat all female MCs
Mhm.
out now, back
Hey,
then,
well, pause,
everything. I
pause.
think she would eat them. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm doing too
Oh.
much.
No, 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 not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. Yeah, but I definitely think Rod Digger should have been on that list. I don't care what position she would have been in. She definitely needs to get more mention. I think she definitely needs to
Go Jersey.
get her flowers. I think those that if you could hear my voice, go listen to Rod Digger. Go listen to her stuff, Beyond
Flipmode
Flip Mode
Squad,
Squad.
Outsiders. Come
Yeah,
on.
but even beyond that, listen to her stuff. I'm telling you, she's a barbarian. She's bars, okay?
Yeah.
Okay? The delivery, everything. She's just, one of my favorite female MCs of all time.
Yes,
And
yes.
I really feel like they be disrespecting her by not mentioning her. And I'm kind of, sick of that.
I see,
But
I see, I see.
yeah, I'm kind of sick of that.
You ready to
Like
set it on Jokers for Rod Digger.
I am. I
I
am.
gotta let
And
I
she
gotta
has
let Digger
no
know
idea.
she got troops out in the field.
She does. She's definitely somebody that I would love to speak to. Oh, Prodigy. Somebody said Prodigy should have made the list. Prodigy wasn't on the list.
Prodigy wasn't on the list. Man.
Prodigy wasn't on the list. He should have definitely been
Yeah,
on
no
the list.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Prodigy should definitely have been on the list.
Yes.
Yeah, but
So yeah, let me. I just
can I
want to.
can I and I say and you know and no, I don't think that I should have been on the list either.
Why
I should.
not?
I mean, I'm a realist, and when you think of, impact, record sales, like the names that was on that list ring a whole bunch of bells. Now, when it comes to touching that mic, lyrics, bars, all that, yeah, great. But there's other things that need to be factored in when you're talking about a Billboard top 50 list. In reality, we had the one joint. We had a couple remixes with Brandy and some other things that happened. We put out a couple independent projects that was, whatever, whatever. But I have no problem being a well-respected underground backpack rapper. I carry that torch. I ain't mad at that.
But I think you need to receive more flowers too. You know
Well,
what I'm
thank
saying?
you. Thank you.
Yes, I definitely do because you definitely for the culture, and I even like your impact with
Cannabis,
cannabis
cannabis.
and
Yeah.
everything like that. So you definitely need to get more
Now,
mentions.
top 50 weed rappers.
Yeah, now
I'd
that
have
would
had
be
a problem. You
fire.
know what I mean? I'd have been a little upset. Like, well, which channel live? Where's my name? I need to see me. But it's all good.
Yes, yes. So moving forward, yeah, and to everybody, please like, share, comment, and I want you to share who you think should have made the top 50 list. I want to hear what you thought about our commentary. If you agreed with some of the things that I was saying or disagree, I want to hear it all. Let me know how you're feeling and put it all in the comments section. All right, so moving forward, because initially you are educator though, right?
Yeah, I was a school teacher from 1990 to 94. And I have a series of workshops, using hip hop as an educational tool with under the company 24 Hours of Peace Inc. So I still, deal in education, um, but more outside the structure of, the school system. I was a social studies and science teacher from 1990 to 94.
And
Showing my age.
I was just having this conversation a little bit earlier today. I was saying that a lot of hip hop, whether they be legends or just somebody who loves the art of it and indulges in it, will make the best black male teachers that these young black boys need. I think it's necessary. I think and it could be. And what I love about that idea is y'all could do any subject because y'all writers, so y'all could teach English
Yeah.
in the most entertaining way. Um, some of you, like the backpackers and the conscious rappers, could also teach
Yep.
history, our
Yep.
story.
Yeah. Well, we actually check this out. So we have a workshop called Lyrics Matter that's produced by Rod Dicker, using poetry and spoken word as forms of expression. And she comes in and she does her thing and shows young folks how to express themselves using spoken word and poetry and rap. We have a workshop, Basketball as Life, where we use basketball as a metaphor to teach life skills, critical thinking, conflict resolution skills. We show what works on the basketball court and how it translates into real life. We have Living Proof with Benny Boom using filmmaking, and Giant Thinking with the bartenders. We do calisthenics exercises, but we have conflict resolution and critical thinking exercises that go along with the physical activity.
So there's some of these programs are with the school system or like something that will be
It's
viewed as
it's
extracurricular.
but it's 24 hours a piece is the company that put it together. That's our company, right? And we can come in as consultants, or you can hire us to bring in our series of programs. Now we work with some of the schools in Newark, New Jersey, because I do the 24 hours a piece event in Newark, New Jersey. So the company was born out of an event, 24 hours a piece, which was created to support violence as a public health issue, just using hip hop in a way to engage the community, introduce them to nonprofits and social service organizations that already exist in the community, create the environment for peace, love, unity, safety, having fun, and just try to nurture that idea of networking and connection. We've been doing it for 13 years in Newark, New Jersey. It's a 24-hour concert from Friday to Saturday, 6 p.m. to 6 p.m., straight through. We've had everybody from Kane, Fat Joe, Carl Thomas, Talib Kweli, KRS, Jadakiss, Beans, Freeway, PNB Rock, rest in peace, Juice Crew All Stars, Rashante, MC Shan, Polo, rest in peace, Marley Marl. We've had Das Effects, Smith and Wesson, Naughty by Nature, Lords of the Underground, Large Professor, Savion Glover co-hosted a few years. Queen Latifah hosted last year. Fabio Foreign, G Herbo, Fabulous, Mr. C, CL Smooth, Too Rare, every year. In North New Jersey, let me not say too much, but yeah, that's 24 hours a piece in North New Jersey. So that's how the company was launched. And then we have these series of workshops that use hip hop to engage young folks.
Yes, and we spoke about that the last time we was here, and I salute you again for that because, I guess for me, I want to see y'all like go into these institutions and just kick all the teachers out and just go in there, like Public Enemy
No,
Day,
we don't want
fight
to
the
kick.
cop,
Yeah, we don't want to. We want to.
in
We
the four
actually
winds in the
see.
4-4.
Right. It's like it's a double-edged sword, right? Because schools are paid for with tax dollars. So essentially the schools belong to the people. And unfortunately, we don't look at it that way. We look at the schools as something that's like some other thing that's not an extension of who we are, right? That said, if you rely on other people to educate you, you're the fool, right? So, we got to get into, supplemental tools to reinforce education from home, and outside, the school system, would be it like, study groups, uh, reading circles, clubs, just other forms. You got the internet. There's other ways of getting information and navigating, so you're not depending on somebody else's version of it. Um, but in that, even it being somebody else's version, like it's ours, there's a system set up. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to make the wheel work properly. So, engagement is like the best thing. It's like you got to be engaged with the school system, PTA meetings, the board of ed, know who's who. It's your child, it's your tax dollars, it's you make the thing go. So, whether you do it with the system or outside the system, you make the thing go. You got to do it. So,
Yes, and I definitely agree. I've homeschooled my kids recently. I'm in my second year, and even though initially it was challenging, but I truly appreciate it, and it's so rewarding because I see the benefits that my kids are getting out of the situation,
yeah.
and it's a big difference. Just with their mental health, everything. They still have their friends because one of the things a lot of people worry about is the social aspect of it all. But I guess I lucked up in that because they've been through the school system. They already had their friends that they was going to school with, and they still remain friends. On weekends I got kids here, things like that. So it's that kind of thing. And then, once we're done doing our work, I let them go and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're at that old enough age, where I have to let them loose a little bit. Of course they still need my guidance, but I give them that space for them to, do their own thing because, they with me most of the times. And I know, it could be challenging watching your other friends go to school and stuff like that. And we go to a center and learn, so I get that aspect of it all. But I feel like even though for the parents who may not have the luxury or the resources to be able to homeschool your kids, even though there are a lot of online remote jobs now more than ever, just make that little effort to even through their homework, give them the lessons because, that'll give you the opportunity to see exactly what they're working on,
Yeah,
what is being told to them, and then you can put your,
used to work for V. My mom got the a set of encyclopedias, and when I wasn't doing my schoolwork, when I was cutting up in school and wasn't getting things done, grades wasn't come back right, she had me on punishment, and I have to give her a book report every week.
That's good.
Right, that had nothing to do with school. This is what I had to do for her, right, and that just kind of sparked this whole idea of being able to research and look things up, and gave me a breadth of knowledge just from reading the encyclopedias to do these papers for my mother that's outside of school. So just little things like that, you'd be surprised. It don't have to be a whole big thing. Just getting them exposed to information and knowledge, and a lot of times it's fun. You can do fun things. It's not like, you know, a chore. But
Yeah,
yes,
and
cha cha.
yes. You about to say something?
Yeah, I'm feeling under the weather. I don't know if you can hear it in my nose.
Oh, we could wrap this up. I'm sorry. Dag, and I wanted to talk to you about the human education of lies, but I guess we're gonna have to have a part three to
Uh,
that.
Part three.
Yes, and I
Yes,
truly appreciate you because even what we already was talking about, even with the top 50 and your stories and stuff like that, I'm truly grateful just to even have you on my show, and
yeah.
the wisdom that you have, and willing to share with us all. I don't
Thank
take
you.
you for granted. You were definitely one of my educators without even knowing it, and I can't wait to see what else is more from you. Anything else you would like to say
Yeah, I
before
just want to
you?
big up this album project I have out called Aubrey, Aubrey, entirely produced by Ron Lawrence. Features KRS-One, G Simone, Amiri Baraka Jr., Do It All Kelly, CeeLo Green, Freeway, Carl Thomas, Malik Youssef. It's out right now, streaming on all platforms. Go check it out. We got videos up, Real Hip Hop for the People, which features the 24 Hours of Peace concert. So you can see in real time what that looked like with Queen Latifah, Fabio Foreign, all the celebrities we had out there. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. That video's out. I got a video for Jewelry, the cipher with KRS-One, and Took a Test. So dig in, Aubrey, and it also got Madism, Who Want This Smoke. Y'all can look out for that too. Madism, Who Want This Smoke, whole album. It's crazy.
Who want the smoke? That's what I be saying to people. Who want the smoke? Especially debating stuff. Who want the smoke? Because I'm ready for all of y'all. Let's get it. And shout out to you for encouraging critical thinkers. And you were definitely important to the soundtrack
Thank
and
you.
the learning aspect of my life. And I will forever be grateful of that. Is there one more thing? Is there anything you would like to say as far as one more thing that you would like to say as far as hip hop 50th
Oh
anniversary, and
yes,
we can
happy
end it
birthday.
like that?
Oh yeah, happy birthday, hip hop. All year long, we're celebrating the greatness, the richness of the culture of hip hop, the culture of hip hop, not just rapping, y'all. It's more than
The
that.
culture.
A whole culture. So happy birthday, hip hop culture. And at me, Hakim Green, HAKIMGREEN. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Get better, drink your herbal teas,
Oh
all
yeah.
that stuff.
I got my apple cider vinegar right there, right now. My cayenne pepper, lemon, honey, little. You know what I mean? Yeah, about to get it in.
Yes, and I
Peace.
and I appreciate you. Salute.
Salute.
Yes. Yes, y'all. Yes. Another amazing interview. Dang, I really wanted to go in more. I was ready for it. But we have been doing this for a little over 2 hours now. And beggars can't be choosy. You can't be greedy. And we established a great rapport with each other. He may not know it, but he's a part of my hip hop family. Those that follow me know what I mean by that. Everybody knows Ralph McDaniels is my father. Everybody calls him Uncle Ralph, but that's my dad. I got a whole fake ass story that sounds real if you ain't know no better about how that's my dad. And right now we're speaking with one of my uncles, people that I respect, and I feel like a lot of people like that. Um Damn, I kind of wanted to ask him about Talib too. Because if you've been following me on Instagram, me and Talib stay going back and forth with each other. He come to my page, argue with me. I go to his page, arguing with him. He was like the greatest upset a little bit as far as like mentality is concerned. Even though I would never say that he's stupid, or anything like that. But And I still consider him family. He's just like the annoying cousin you always want to trip when he's walking to the kitchen and getting something to drink. You know, that kind of cousin that you be fucking slapping toothpaste on his face and shit like that, or be trying to set him up to get him in trouble, not with government wise, because when it's shit like that, we sit together. But you know, big auntie or whatever, and you just, you know, that kind of thing. That's what Talib Kweli is to me. He's the annoying fucking cousin I want to fight all the time. I don't know what that is, but hopefully I'll get to figure it out. And maybe if he's brave enough, because I'm definitely brave enough, he'll come up and pull up to Live at Radio so we could really have a debate about what the fuck be wrong with his mind. But anyway, moving forward, I truly appreciate Hakim Green for pulling up as always. I have a few more surprises that's definitely pulling up to Live at Radio, so definitely stay in tune. It's gonna be lit. We approaching our 6th year. 6 years went by so fast and we accomplished so much, and I can't wait to show you guys who's next. But in the meantime, stay blessed, stay educated, seek knowledge. Don't just be a knowledge seeker, be a truth seeker. I pray for those things. I pray for the power of discernment. I want to be able to see the enemy a million miles away. I pray that I will never be fooled. And I pray I have discernment. And with that being said, I think y'all should pray for that too, especially since our world is getting more artificial by the second. And with that being said, have a blessed night, family. Peace to you and your loved ones. And don't forget to hug someone while you at it. All right? Until next time. Until next time. Peace, blessings, you guys. Much love.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and share. But most importantly, subscribe and hit that notification bell. ChaChaLive.media. Let's get it.